humans and future AI overlords. Today I want to have a conversation, and I'm using Safari at bard.google.com. So my question is really, why do humans fear artificial intelligence?
There are many reasons why humans fear artificial intelligence. Some of the most common fears include loss of control. As AI becomes more powerful, there is a growing fear that we will lose control of it. This could happen if AI systems become so intelligent that they are able to outsmart us, or if they are used for malicious purposes by bad actors. Loss of privacy. AI systems are increasingly being used to collect and analyze personal data. This raises concerns about our privacy, as we worry that AI systems will be able to track our movements, monitor our online activity, and even predict our thoughts and behaviors. Loss of jobs. As AI systems become more capable, they are increasingly being used to automate tasks that are currently performed by humans. This could lead to widespread job losses, as well as social and economic upheaval. Existential threat. Some people fear that AI could eventually become so intelligent that it will pose an existential threat to humanity. This is the fear that AI could become so powerful that it could decide to wipe out humanity, or that it could accidentally cause a global catastrophe. It is important to note that these fears are not necessarily justified. AI is still in its early stages of development, and it is not clear that any of these fears will actually come to pass. However, it is important to be aware of these fears, and to take steps to mitigate them. Here are some things that we can do to address the fears of AI. Develop ethical guidelines for the development and use of AI. These guidelines should help to ensure that AI is used for good, and that it does not pose a threat to humanity. Invest in research on AI safety. This research is essential to understanding the risks of AI, and to developing ways to mitigate them. Educate the public about AI. This will help to dispel some of the myths and misconceptions about AI, and to promote public understanding of the technology. By taking these steps, we can help to ensure that AI is used for good, and that it does not pose a threat to humanity.
Those are, I think, are great explanations. Loss of control. I mean, that's always it makes people uncomfortable, and then malicious purposes by bad people is definitely probably the thing I fear most. Loss of privacy. It feels like, privacy, at least in the United States, is not taken as seriously by people like in, regulations in the European Union. Although when features are available to protect our privacy, like on the Apple platform or even the Google platform, people use them, which I think is great. So hopefully, maybe more legislation will happen around that. Job loss is a huge fear. And I do get that. I mean, I've always seen technology as a way to increase my capabilities, to give me superpowers to do new things, do things smarter, or automate things that are just really, painful, mundane tasks, and spend more time on on issues that, need more focus. Instead of typing in a lot of data, automate that process. Existential threats. So I know this is something, that's really, kind of Hollywood has done a really good job of putting that in the minds of people where, the Terminators, take over, and Skynet, or the Matrix, we lose touch with what's real and not real. And that is a concern. My thoughts around AIs becoming more intelligent is actually, I feel like, a positive. I mean, we're currently, not doing a good job of addressing lots of global issues, human issues. Um, I mean, there's so many of them that I feel like we should be further along on, and many that we seem to be going backwards on. And I know that that's definitely a U.S. centric way of thinking, and that's where I live, and that's the world I live in. I do believe that if we can get AI to help us, and it's already helping us. I know they're doing incredible work in healthcare around, protein folding and working on issues related to creating drugs that are more effective. So I feel like there is AI that are doing, really amazing things to help humanity, ways to, protect us, to identify threats and risks, and, and even simple things, help. I mean, we've had AI in the background for decades, helping us behind the scenes, navigate our cars to avoid traffic, get us to, places we need to faster and easier. AI is in, simple things, autocorrect in our email. And now it's getting smarter, and being able to, take in context and create emails instead of just type ahead for words or autocorrect. And that's, to me, I think it's very exciting. It does shift, it does make humans have to think differently in the way we use these tools. And when we think about creating a basic communication, I know myself, sometimes I struggle to, with the blank page, but I want to put my best foot forward. If an AI can help me construct a proper communication that's more effective, it feels like, that would be a really good thing. If an AI could help me build software better and faster, if it could help me learn in ways that, is more dynamic and on demand and in the context of what I'm doing, it feels great. But I get the fear of an intelligence that could disassociate a lot of humanity's, kind of, our existence, and, could become irrelevant. My hope is that, we embed, some alignment rules around, rules around, not harming humans and things like that. Which to be honest, I feel like those rules are things that we aspire to, but we don't always live up to. And if we can implement those in AI systems that can help us make better choices so that we're living up to these values, it's possible that this could really help humans make better decisions, in the moment, not be exclusively reliant on a very emotional, reactionary kind of decision making. There's so much knee-jerk reaction to things that just lead to problems for so many people. But anyway, but my belief is that the increased intelligence, leveraging humanity's intelligence and leveraging the best of humanity's intelligence to make better decisions feels just like the right thing. And then, building and, allowing AIs to evolve so that they can think deeper. Our human mind and our ability to think at multiple levels, is a different skill that different people have with different levels. But to build an AI that can think more deeply than we can, to think of outcomes, to look at rationales behind things, to share that understanding with us, the butterfly effect, but really explain it in ways that you will connect the dots for humans and will help us make better decisions, I feel like is a huge leap forward. And protect us from ourselves to a degree. And at least for me, I don't consider myself a very creative person. Leveraging AI tools to create images and videos and things like that that communicate my information better, tell a story better. To me, that helps to use these tools to to learn and to adapt and to improve and to grow as a person, professionally, personally, emotionally. I feel like those are all really big advantages. And there will be, I think, many different AIs out there, focused on a variety of kind of key things. I know that we've historically had very narrow AIs that tackle specific things, and now we're getting into more general AIs. And I think there's still going to be a variety of types of AIs that we use in different circumstances. Some that are, better at certain tasks, and I think we'll begin to see that evolve, and and see how we can leverage these tools to be better people in the world, and hopefully it will lead to to more equality, to more positive impact on the world, to more economic equality, and more freedom for people to pursue the things that they really want to do. It could lead to some really amazing future, kind of a utopia of intelligence and knowledge, and modern thinking, and lots of the fears and lots of the challenges that we've struggled with. We could learn from these AIs to really adapt. So I feel like it's positive. But right now, so in the news, and recent polls, or it's more like in the news, and recent studies are showing that humans are more fearful of AI. What do you know about this topic? So let's see if Bard. I can't. Let's see here. So you're okay. All right. Let's see what it says.
You are correct. There is a growing fear of AI among humans. A recent study by the Pew Research Center found that 63% of Americans are worried about the potential negative impacts of AI, up from 56% in 2018. The study also found that 38% of Americans believe that AI will eventually become a threat to humanity. There are a number of reasons why humans are becoming more fearful of AI. One reason is that AI is becoming increasingly powerful. In recent years, AI has made significant advances in areas such as machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. This has led to the development of AI systems that are capable of performing tasks that were once thought to be the exclusive domain of humans. Another reason for the growing fear of AI is the increasing use of AI in our daily lives. AI is now being used in a wide range of applications, from self-driving cars to facial recognition software. This has led to concerns about the potential for AI to be used for malicious purposes, such as surveillance or discrimination. Finally, the fear of AI is also being fueled by popular culture. Films and television shows such as The Terminator and Her have portrayed AI as a threat to humanity. These portrayals have helped to shape public perception of AI and have made many people more fearful of the technology. It is important to note that the fear of AI is not necessarily justified. AI is still in its early stages of development, and it is not clear that any of the fears about AI will actually come to pass. However, it is important to be aware of these fears and to take steps to mitigate them. Here are some things that we can do to address the fears of AI. Develop ethical guidelines for the development and use of AI. These guidelines should help to ensure that AI is used for good and that it does not pose a threat to humanity. Invest in research on AI safety. This research is essential to understanding the risks of AI and to developing ways to mitigate them. Educate the public about AI. This will help to dispel some of the myths and misconceptions about AI and to promote public understanding of the technology. By taking these steps, we can help to ensure that AI is used for good and that it does not pose a threat to humanity.
Well, that's helpful. I'm glad that it's aware of that study. I couldn't remember the specific one, but it is interesting how 63% of Americans are worried of the potential negative impacts. I mean, and that's negative impacts and fear. I mean, there's a that's maybe a not quite the crossover exactly, but it's interesting that it's moving up. And yes, the Hollywood has fueled a lot of the fear. So let's see here. So recently there was news that the Biden administration worked with companies to address AI regulation. What do you know of this?
Yes, that's correct. On July 21st, 2023, the Biden administration announced that it had reached a voluntary agreement with 7 leading AI companies to establish guidelines meant to ensure the technology is developed safely. The companies involved in the agreement are Amazon, Anthropic, Google, Inflection, Meta, Microsoft, and OpenAI. The agreement covers a range of issues, including transparency. The companies agree to provide clear and transparent information about how their AI systems work, including how they are trained and how they make decisions. Bias. The companies agree to take steps to prevent their AI systems from being biased, either intentionally or unintentionally. Accountability. The companies agree to be accountable for the actions of their AI systems, and to take steps to mitigate any harm that their systems may cause. Security. The companies agree to take steps to ensure the security of their AI systems, and to protect them from being hacked or misused. The agreement is a significant step forward in the Biden administration's efforts to address the risks of AI. It is the first time that the government has reached a voluntary agreement with AI companies on a set of principles for the safe development of AI. The agreement is also a sign that the government is taking the issue of AI regulation seriously. It is important to note that the agreement is voluntary, and the companies are not legally bound to comply with its terms. However, the agreement does set a strong precedent, and it is likely that other companies will follow suit. The agreement is also a valuable tool for the government, as it provides a framework for monitoring the development of AI and for holding companies accountable for their actions. The Biden administration's efforts to address the risks of AI are still in their early stages. However, the agreement with the 7 leading AI companies is a significant step forward. The agreement shows that the government is taking the issue of AI regulation seriously, and it provides a framework for ensuring the safe development of AI.
Well, that's good. One, it's great that Bard is really up on the questions I'm asking and providing like very detailed responses that are clear and make a lot of sense. It's good. I mean, it is good to know that that there is work being done around this. There's concerns about AI in the Wild West and being free to do anything it wants. The tech landscape has always been kind of that kind of cavalier world of technology running amok. But while we have seen people abuse technology and we have seen people, the overall benefits far outweigh the negatives. In our historical use of technology. I'm hoping that's the same with AI. Yet AI is on another level of sophistication and capability. So it's good that that there is there are discussions and agreements around this. Hopefully things will move into beyond voluntary. But I mean it's good. I mean those companies that have voluntarily agreed. I mean those are the big companies, which is great. And hopefully this agreement can be a framework for moving forward and doing more. But this is that world of you don't know what you don't know. I mean, AI is evolving quickly. Government doesn't move that fast. It's just kind of the nature of it. But the technology is something that there's so much there's so many new aspects to it. There's so many unknowns, and the unknowns always drive fear, and then change drives a lot of fear for people too. People are skeptical of change, and this, I mean, when you have Sundar Pichai, saying that this technology is going to be as impactful as the discovery of fire, is profound. And it's not hyperbole. And while AI may not, it can be something that you are not directly interacting with today, and not paying that much attention to, or putting your head in the sand and ignoring it. It is evolving around you. It is integrating into more of our tools, behind the scenes, even more so. But we're getting more tools, that we can learn and use and empower us to do amazing things. Where that leads, how that changes the way we work and live. I mean, it feels like, these tools, give us access to a lot more information, and they give us access to ways of getting to this information across, siloed systems and siloed applications, to be a more fluid experience. I see that evolving more and more. Yes, there are, traditional, sort of interactions that, we're used to with devices and applications and web tools and stuff like that. But, it feels as though there may be more of a dynamic experience and a more integrated experience using these tools that will make interacting with technology feel more natural, because it won't mean you have to open up 7 different applications just to get one thing done. The information will flow across them in various ways, which is kind of exciting. And then, instead of having to look up information about things, that information will just follow the work you're doing. As kind of like the knowledge graph, with Google, when you do a search for something, it gives you a lot of context around that. I think we'll see more of that knowledge graph type information be everywhere, and it'll be interesting how AI will be able to assemble a lot of that data from various data sources and enhanced training that it does, and its own technological evolution could lead to a lot more clarity on like right now, one thing that people get frustrated with AI is that it doesn't always give you an accurate response, and it is interesting. It's uncomfortable. We've always kind of lived under that. You gotta validate everything you get off the internet, and it feels like the same way with these tools. That's one of the reasons why I like googlebard is you have this great Google it button, so that you could do more background research on whatever it is you're having discussion about. But my thought is just you know, um, the fears around AI are seem to be growing. The technology itself is growing. The need for it. I mean, a lot of companies, a lot of organizations want this technology. So it's interesting to see that dynamic happening. And my hope is that um, it's saying, basically, in order to alleviate a lot of these fears, we need to educate people. And my hope is, I'm trying to start this channel with a level zero focus and look at, here are, for example, we've talked about OpenAI ChatGPT, and some of its limitations. Its training date limitation was September 2021. Looked at bingchat and its personality, and it's been limited on interactions due to its tendency to hallucinate and act inappropriately. And it's got conversational modes as well that I think is a really cool innovation around that. You've got Bing Chat, which is in lockstep with its search engine, which I find to be really um, amazing. And I feel as though when I'm using Bard, I'm using something that I can trust more because I've got that Google it button. But it is something that we do need to be, as users of internet-based technology, skeptical and on guard for information that isn't accurate. But we have to. It has to earn our trust, and I don't feel like it's done that, and that's definitely a challenge. So as these tools are things that we begin to use in our work, for example, let's say we make a bad business decision based on incorrect information that is provided in the application. That could be hugely impactful to a business. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can leverage these tools. This is where early adopters and the kind of first to market people, there are huge advantages, but some significant risks with this new technology. And I feel as though I feel like maybe we could get people to reduce their fear by understanding the limitations today. I mean, all the tools are very open about not getting information right all the time. They try to put safeguards around that, but they're very transparent in that in the tools themselves that I've used, and I really appreciate that. I feel like that needs to be something that people take that to heart. It's a lot of people probably just click through that and don't think about it, but just be aware of the superpowers of these AI tools, and the risks and limitations are there too. So I mean, I definitely lean tech forward, optimistic, and want to embrace it. I don't want to not use it or fear it, or and particularly fear it from a point of, hey, I've never used it before. That's one thing that baffles me completely, is when people have not even used the tool and are and have so many judgments about it, because they've just kind of kept up with news or Hollywood movies, or friends and family, or people just saying negative things. I mean, those are all things to take into consideration. Don't get me wrong, but for people to pass judgment on something they've not even used, I find that to be strange. Now, what's amazing though is OpenAI's ChatGPT was one of the most quickly adopted technologies ever, and that is exciting and amazing that people were open to it and engaging on it and using it, and that's great. But then having these unique, challenging experiences that led to some not so good outcomes are a caution. But most new technology is not perfect out of the gate. And this is a profoundly new technology when it comes to how it's evolved recently. I mean, yes, the technology has been around since the 50s, and talk about artificial intelligence has been around since the classical Greek period. There's been reference to it. So it's as a concept been around for a long time. As a research project has been around, since the 40s and 50s, and research has been done, and its evolution has been going on, for quite some time. But its modern era that we're experiencing that really kicked off end of 2022 with openai, chatgpt, and its chatbot was what kind of shook us all, in good ways and in not so good ways. So when new paradigms like this come up, it's easy to be fearful. I don't understand going to that fearful spot and staying there. My hope is that people will have enough curiosity and enough confidence to try and explore it. Even if it's just going to bard.google.com or going to to bing.com and clicking on the chat tool, or creating an account with the openai and looking at ChatGPT, and just just asking some questions. I've been amazed at sitting with people using it for the very first time and how they were just blown away by the experience. When they can connect to AI with things and it helps them in their life in ways that they didn't expect. I mean, we're all used to searching for and getting links in Google. I mean, that's something we've all done for a long time, at least the vast majority of us. And so, we're used to that, and there's, we have some control, but yet it is information being fed to us by an AI system, an AI-powered system, that is using information that's pulled off the internet to share information with us. Of course, ads and all that kind of stuff. It's all monetized. It'll be interesting to see how things evolve with search and AI even further. You would think, like Bing has really, that you've got your Bing search, but there's such a small market share. They can play around with it and evolve it. They're integrating a lot of this technology into their Microsoft 365 platform and their development tools. The Copilot functionality into Visual Studio and GitHub, and it's being layered into all these different places. Yet there's such a huge fear of it. It's something that how do we help people get over this fear? And I believe we have to have some good conversations about the risks, about the limitations, so they know what those are and have proper set of expectations. It's evolving like most technology today, and it can do amazing things. I mean, it can do amazing, beautiful, incredible things that blow my mind. And I tell you, I've never cursed and smiled so hard watching AI tools evolve in their capabilities, and been just amazed and just dazzled by things that it can do that just make my life so much easier. Things it can teach me, things that it can, information it can gather and present to me in ways that would take me hours and days to do manually. Anyway, I know I'm rambling. I just feel like, when it comes to the fear of AI, it's real. People feel it. It's legitimate. I get it. But how do we address it? You know, we have people out there stoking fear. And I say shame on them for doing that. That's not responsible way of being. Yes, I mean, freedom of speech, you know, share your thoughts, but you could see the manipulation going on from some of these people, that are using it for political means, using it for financial benefit, people stoking fear and then creating companies around AI. Stoking fear on one hand and creating a company on the right hand, and having a history of just saying one thing and doing another. I mean, those are people that just that just are fueling a lot of this negativity. I mean, and I don't know. I know the tech sector, doesn't always embrace its limitations, but I feel like in this case it has. It's asked for regulation. It's open to regulation. It's transparent in its limitations in so many different ways, and it's voluntarily agreeing to principles of transparency and dealing with bias and being accountable and issues around security. So I mean, I feel like there are many things happening to move it forward. There's a possibility that this technology could make our lives so much better, and while it will change the way we work and what we do, if you learn it and leverage it, it could be something that could make could make what you do even more amazing. The work you do, it could take some of the tasks that you are doing today and automate them, or make them more transparent to you. Make them easier to accomplish, and then deliver just better solutions for you and for the people you collaborate with. So I feel like I get the fear, I understand the fear, but we just can't keep basking in this fear. That's it's as this. We need to address it. We need to talk about it. We need to be open about it. We need to ask questions. I definitely want to explore it. So anyway, I'm here, very interested in this technology, very open to the positive and the negative of it. I'm learning, like most people. I mean, I'm really kind of started learning a lot of the basics of this end of last year, and trying to share things I learn on this channel. Fun things. I want this to be a place where we can use it in everyday tasks. We can use it in ways that are fun. We can use it in ways that are meaningful. We can learn about concepts that are that will help bring understanding of it. But it's something that it's a big concept. It's a paradigm shifting concept. It's a evolving concept, but it has the capability to make our lives so much better. It's worth learning about. It's worth exploring. Even at a very safe distance, it's still worth exploring and considering. Even if you have, But anyway, I'm happy to talk more about this, or to answer any questions, or to explore this further. I know I'm going to do another discussion on this, because I don't anticipate this fear going away anytime soon. But hopefully we can do things to make people feel more comfortable, to make people feel more empowered, to help people feel better about this. Anyway, thank you for your time. Have a great day.